If you frequently use a computer or an application that requires the user to click on an icon or simply need the cursor to move, it is very likely that you have a pointing device in your possession. Some examples of these pointing devices that you might have are a mouse, a trackball, which is an older device, pointing sticks, joysticks, touchpads, and touchscreens, which is an input and output device. First of all, we are going to talk about the mouse. The mouse is the most common pointing device as of right now, and they come in various different forms, such as a trackball, which is a mouse that uses a mechanical ball arrangement. These types of mice are usually old and was traditionally used during the 2000s. The more modern type of mouse is the optical mouse, and they use red LEDs, light emitting diode. These are used to detect the movement in the XY direction. Lastly, the mouse that has the same fundamentals as optical mice but are wireless, meaning they are more portable and are optimal for a wire-free setup. Any type of mouse needs an area or space to allow movement, preferably a mouse mat or pad, because some surfaces such as paper prevent the correct operation of the mouse and might disrupt the movement, resulting in it being less reactive or accurate. Some mice, such as gaming mice, have more buttons rather than the usual left, right, and scroll button. Most of the time, these extra buttons are located on the sides of the mouse nearest to your thumb, ring, / pinky finger. Other times, they might be located around the scroll button. These extra buttons are usually used for manipulating the DPI, which stands for dots per inch, or sensitivity. However, they can be adjusted most of the time to various different tasks, including inside games where they provide as extra keybinds. Another example of a pointing device are the touchpad. Most modern day laptops come with a built-in touchpad. These pads contain a tactile sensor in which it allows the user to control the cursor by moving a finger over the surface. The buttons to the left and right of the pad act similarly to the left and right buttons of the mouse. Lastly, another example of a pointing device are joysticks. They are also another way to control your cursor and is done by the vertical stick, joystick, or the arrow/game buttons. Joysticks give a more natural feeling towards the user, especially in games where joysticks are more appropriate than a mouse and keyboard, such as flying games. They usually tend to be used to move objects or control the player in games. Joysticks have more buttons for special functions than a mouse, such as opening a menu. They can also be used in CAD, computer-aided design applications. So, to summarize, the mouse is the most common pointing device and uses mainly left, right, and scroll buttons, apart from gaming mice where they have a few extra buttons for changing the sensitivity, DPI, or keybinds. And the touchpad is an alternative to a mouse and works similarly, which are commonly found on laptops built in. Lastly, the joysticks is another pointing device that controls your cursor using the vertical stick, or essentially the buttons. All these devices fall in the categories of pointing devices. There are certainly more examples of such devices, however in this video, a mouse, joystick, and touchpad are reviewed. That's it for this video on pointing devices. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Thank you.